Welcome, everybody, to episode 71 of the effing title. And this week, we have the most giggliest, funnest space astronaut person I've ever known and ever will know. It is DannyStarShip, but is it okay if I just call you Danny?
Yes.
How was your day, Danny?
It was wonderful. Truly wonderful. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Happy
We're
Father's Day to all the daddies. Yeah.
Definitely. My chinchilla. I have two chinchillas. One is a boy, one is a girl. And this morning, they had 5 babies. So he became a father on Father's Day. And so that's all I've been doing all day. Just taking care of little babies.
That's all I've been doing all day. Is I've had to be the daddy because the daddy chinchilla can't do his own shit.
No, they have to be separated.
so for all the people out there that don't know you from the times you've been in stream or the Sim stream, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
I hate that question.
Not a question, more of a statement, but go on.
I hate this icebreaker thing, I'm a Bob. But I'm a female, 26 years old. Makes me a millennial.
This isn't. So when I say like tell them a little bit about yourself, I don't mean like read them your Tinder profile. I more mean like, hi, my name's Danny. I go to school. I stream. Like I enjoy like this. I mean, I guess that's also stuff you can put on. Never mind. You just do you. I'm just gonna shut up for a little bit.
We're starting at the most basic because I don't know where I should go with it. I don't know.
Female, 26, 5'5", like
actually,
long walks.
5'7".
Oh, fucking excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm too tall for my own good, and not tall at all. It's just like that weird. Anyways, what am I talking about? Myself. I like candy. I am a streamer, and I'm trying to, do stuff with that. And what else? Yes, I like space. Yes, I play video games. I like fitness. I do Krav Maga and CrossFit. I don't know what else.
I will never forget. The only reason why I know what Krav Maga even comes close to being is because of How I Met Your Mother. I know, was it How I Met Your Mother? Oh, what was it now? It's in one of those sitcoms though. No, it's fucking Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I do. I've only watched a couple episodes.
So in one of the episodes, so in one of the episodes, Leonard is put on a blind date with this girl, and she's like, "I just got back from Krav Maga. Basically, 100 ways to rip someone's nuts off." I guess that's what she says. And ever since I've heard that, whenever I hear Krav Maga, that's the first thing that pops in my head, and immediately it's just like, cross the legs if you can, cover up. All right, continue.
My goodness, it is kind of true though, because like when I go in there, like the cutest, smallest, nicest girls just become like ferocious. Like it's just taking me back so hard. Like I'm like, hi, my name is like Katie, and next thing you know, she's like pummeling you with her fist, and you're on the ground. And you're just like, oh my god! But you have a bag, like it's safe. I would highly recommend Krav Maga, everybody, because you need to learn how to protect yourself.
Exactly.
You should be a badass.
Also,
it's hard for me to transition into that badass.
See, I hear that, but then also, especially after the Sims day, with how some of the things that were said there, I'm mildly scared of you now. So I mean,
jokes, don't.
Well, as always, everyone out there knows I always ask the guest for the topics, and Danny was supposed to be on 2 weeks ago, but she decided to give herself food poisoning instead of going on the podcast. So the topics have stayed the same, and I forgot to ask her if she wanted to change them or not. So we have fitness and back to school. I don't know if that's still what you want to talk about or not, but that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So that's what's going on. So fitness. Okay. Other than trying to fitness pizza in your mouth, right?
Yes.
Fitness. Okay. So this is one of those ones that, like, I even said last week when I was talking with Oh, that's bad. Now I forgot who I had on my fucking podcast last week. My brain just doesn't work fucking anymore.
Bro, you had a lot. Yeah, like how many 70? When are we 75?
No, we're close to it though. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that. I feel like I should do something special for the 75th one, but I don't know
That's
what
what
to
I was
do.
just thinking. Like 75?
Doku was on last week. God damn it, sorry, Doku. But it's like it's one of the first weeks where, like, in a little bit that I haven't had to talk about like fitness or working out or exercise or anything like that. And I actually said that to her. I was like, it's kind of like I feel like I'm just a broken record at this point, just continuously talking about it. So I'm gonna let you talk about it for a little bit and why this was a topic, or why you chose this as a topic. Let's go with that.
Well, because I like research the heck out of things. So, and with fitness, how could I say this? I was never fit. I was always like, well, I can't say I was never fit. I was fit, but I didn't take care of myself. Like, I was just like genetically blessed to have like a fast metabolism, and sometimes I play sports, but I didn't really care about like actually being fit or like putting any thought into like actually what I was eating and whatever.
Okay, fair.
And then it started as I'm getting older, like my metabolism's slowing down, like everything hurts, and it now more than ever.
Yeah, this shit starts getting fun, huh?
No, it gets worrisome when your body just starts breaking down, and it's like that's the moments when you realize just
I love how
important.
I love how you're saying this, and you are. I mean, well, you just said you're 26, right?
Yes.
All right, so you're 26. That's 6. You're 6 years younger than me, and you're like, yeah, my body's breaking down. And I'm just sitting here like, you don't know what breaking down is.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Not even 6 years older.
Yeah, my body is broken.
I feel you.
So was there any reason why, like, so that was your reason, right? Was that your main reason was just kind of, you started noticing kind of that it's getting a little bit more difficult to, not do that, and like to not just like the genetics basically aren't enough anymore.
Yeah, and I noticed that even mentally, it goes beyond just like how I look. Like the most important thing is like mentally, I feel like shit when I eat shit food and I don't exercise.
Fair.
And so like I've started obsessing over it. I think it's very interesting.
I don't know. That is very interesting. Because like for me, my thing was like, all right. I was like, I want to get back in shape. I want to get back to, being healthy again. I was like, so let's go all out. I'm going to eat a ton of fucking food, and then next day I'm going to start getting to it. Right? Great plan, right? Go out with a fucking bang. I did go out with a bang. I went to the ER.
What?
Yeah. So apparently I ate too much fat and I put too much stress on my gallbladder. And my gallbladder basically said, ha ha ha, spasm, and just spazzed out.
Shit.
Yeah, and it felt like I was having a heart attack, but it was on the opposite side. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's scary.
So I did that, and then I went to the doctors afterwards to kind of, get a checkup to figure out what the fuck was going on. And he was like, from everything that we see here, from all the tests and everything done, he's like, from my experience, he's like, I'm going to say that you had a gallbladder spasm. And he's like, and then he's like going into stuff, and he's going through stuff, and he's like, oh, so your blood pressure is kind of high. And I was like, my blood pressure is always high. Like I'm it's a family thing. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, I want to put you on blood pressure meds. And I was like, you can go fuck yourself. And yes, I did tell that to my doctor, brand new doctor, by the way. So one of the things that I've heard in the past, and there are some people that immediately would be like, oh, well, that's not true. But some things I've heard in the past from people who are on blood pressure meds is that it can potentially be a death sentence. And by that, what it means is that as soon as you put on them, you're never off of them. Because no matter what, the doctors will keep you on them.
It's because it's not a solution. It's fixing a problem and then causing other problems.
Yes. So my biggest thing was like, whenever I hear anything like that, I don't want it. I don't fucking want it at all. Like,
feel you.
Keep it away from me. So I was like, I'm not fucking doing it. And it was funny because, like I said, this is my brand new doctor. Apparently, my other doctor either just vanished or died. Don't know which one. Yeah. I called in. I was like, I need a checkup. I was like, I need to get a checkup. I went to the ER, and they're like, okay, well, who's your doctor? I was like, no clue. And they're like, what's your name? Gave them my name, and they're like, so your doctor that you had is no longer here. And I was like, well, what do you mean they're not here? They're like, they're just not here anymore. And I was like,
Ooh.
cool.
Maybe
Like,
kind of sounded spicy, or maybe they died. Hopefully,
that's
not
the thing,
died.
right?
Rest in
It's
peace.
like they like, basically in my world they vanished or they died. Like it's one of the two. So I was like, all right. I was like, well, I just went to the ER. And so I was like, I kind of need to see someone that's like at the top of their game right now. So they gave me a brand new doctor. Dude was fucking hilarious. But he's like, okay. He's like, Colin, all right, fine. I won't put you on meds. This is what I'm gonna do. You have 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have 2 months. In 2 months, you come back. You take. We're gonna take your blood, and then a week after that, you come back in. We go over the results. We check your blood pressure. We check you physically and see how you are doing. If everything looks better in 2 months, then you don't need to worry about it. We won't put you on meds.
Mm-hmm.
So me, being the kind of ape that I am, I'm hearing this, and as soon as he says you have 2 months, I was like, bet. Stopped listening. I was like, challenge accepted. Bet. Like,
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
because it was one of those things.
Too.
I was already gonna do it anyway. Now it's just I now had a reason, right?
It's imperative. Yeah.
So then I grabbed my as I've said before, it's over there, so I can't actually show it today because it's over there unless I want to show it, unless I want to grab it and show it. I have a health book, and in it, the first page is my reasons why I do it. And then every page after that is literally like, it's like Monday, this is my workout. Tuesday, this is what I did for cardio. Wednesday, this is my workout. Thursday. And that's all it is, the entire book. And I'll show it if I can grab it. Because the only reason I want to show it is this, right? So it's a normal 100-sheet, 200-page composition book, right? Just one of the normal ones that you can get at like any store. I have that much left in it. Like I've almost finished this book.
Dang.
Yeah.
I can't see it right now because of a commercial.
Well,
but if you're already through with it,
well, I will wait then, Danny.
I'm so sorry.
But no, so I mean, like really.
I see.
Yeah, so like as you can see, right? Like look at that. Like that's
Dang.
that's what I have left.
Yeah.
And then I'm on to them, and then I have to go buy another one. Like. But like for me, it's been really easy because of the two kind of three things that I did. I did 2 or 3 things, and this is just from my experience. And I'll let you go from how you've been doing stuff. But for me, it's been 3 things. The first one is weightlifting. I wanted to get back to doing weights again, and I'm not doing lower body. And the simple reason why I'm not doing lower body is because I am a very large man as it is. I don't need to work on this anymore. As my dad has said multiple times in the past, and he's not wrong, a man of your size taking a shit and then standing up, you just did a squat that most people can't do in their life. So it's like you're not wrong, but weird way of putting it, Pops. So like my entire thing is all upper body, and it's workouts that I personally know. They're simple to do. It's 3 sets of 10. It's just like that's it, right? It's like it's stuff I like to do, because if it isn't something I would like to do, I'm not gonna want to do it. If I were to add hang cleans onto this, like I used to do back in the day, I would dread that day. Now, 5 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, let's get it, like fucking hang cleaning it out, right? Nowadays, though, no chance. No chance. I won't even come close to doing a hang clean. I do curls a little bit wrong, and I'm like, oh god, everything hurts.
Oh no!
Right. So like that's my first thing. Second thing is I want to start doing cardio again, because it was mentally draining for me seeing someone that used to be able to play college football now being kind of like at a state where walking to the store, getting groceries, walking back to my apartment, and I'm fully out of breath to the point where I need to sit down. That was mentally, that just fucked with me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to change that. Done. And then I started doing yoga again, and the main reason for the yoga was just because the way that I felt when I was doing yoga in the past, the last time I did this, I lost 100 pounds in a year. And when I did the yoga then, it felt so good. Right. Physically, mentally, like
yes.
I can't express the words that or how you feel when you start doing it. And one of the things you have to do, and the one that I do, is down dog, right? So you go cobra into down dog. Mm-hmm. So going from Cobra into Down Dog, when I first started, my ankle was maybe like, kind of, fully up. I couldn't even come close to touching the ground. Today, like yesterday when I did yoga, I think I did yoga yesterday. Yeah, I did yoga yesterday. When I was doing yoga yesterday, I was almost touching the ground with my foot in Down Dog. Like my foot's almost fully flat.
Congratulations.
Now, it's one of those things where I'm 6'4", and I don't care about saying this. I'm 334 pounds. There is physically no reason that I should be able to do Down Dog and have my foot fully flat on the ground.
Except for being a badass.
Right? I mean, that's my thing, right? Now it's like, all right, cool, bet, So I guess that was my thing. Is like, that was my 3 big things. Externally, other than food, and I'll talk about food after, I want to let you go, though, and tell, kind of the stuff that you're doing, right? So we already know about the Krav Maga, right?
Yeah. So I'm doing on like a really intensive like regimen, like something I wouldn't advocate for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really. I'm still kind of like experimenting it with myself, but basically I go to the gym like 5 times a week. I was trying to think about doing more, but like that's my problem. I always like I'm too ambitious, and then anyways. But so what I'm doing right now is Monday, Wednesday, Friday I go do CrossFit, and CrossFit. I didn't even know that CrossFit there was like some like a negative connotation or like the taboo. I don't know. Like their CrossFit people are a little bit too. I don't know.
I can tell you from a personal reason why I don't like CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, like, CrossFit basically is just doing stuff wrong at a really fast pace and getting rewarded for it. Well, so you say that, but yet I've seen people doing chin-ups and their chin isn't coming anywhere close to the bar, and it's 1, 2, 3. Or people doing, like bench and it just being, here, getting the bar to here and then back down, right? And just kind of...
I think the problem with that is I see what you're saying, but like I had, at least with my gym, they will not yell at you, but they aren't afraid to let you know that you're doing it wrong. You need to stop and put the weights, like go lower your weights back down, or just don't do this today because you're hurt or you're not doing your form is wrong, etc. I'm really proud of that because I'm the sort of I have that mentality where I want to get like the highest amount of like reps or like the strongest weights, but they will constantly tell me, no, your form is kind of fucked up. You got to stay with this. You're doing well. Keep at it, but don't increase your weight.
Fair.
We got to fix your form. And so maybe it's not like that most places, but I think just find a good place. Find where coaches will hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
Well, because because some of the stuff that I've seen is like the local stuff in my town. Also, just if you look up anything on the internet, you're gonna find negative versions of it, right? Like but the thing in my town, like one of them was the guy was having high schoolers doing. I'm trying to think what. It was like a power clean into a split jerk, and these are like 13 to 17-year-olds that don't know how to curl properly yet or don't know how to bench properly yet. And he's trying to teach them how to do that at a fast pace in a short period of time. And it was like,
I get hurt.
I had to go have words with the dude, and he's like, look, this is how I do things. I was brought in here to do this. And I was like, oh, whatever. And a bunch of our kids got hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that sucks.
Well, okay, so CrossFit. What is there any? So you said you're doing a lot of stuff. So Krav Maga, CrossFit.
Yeah, so CrossFit Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Krav Maga Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm thinking about changing from Thursdays to like Saturdays, but I love having that weekend. Like what I was talking to my friend about last night. You need to have your rest days.
Yes.
So that's why I wouldn't advocate this for everybody. Only because like I have been training for the past year or so, and so like I know my body can take it, but I also know that my body needs to rest.
Yes.
Half of the battle is resting and letting your muscles repair themselves before you go back in there and break them down again. It's if you do it, I feel like if you have it depending on your own body,
Mm-hmm.
you can be doing more damage than good
Yes.
going in there too often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but it's working well for me right now. I'm seeing, like, okay, this is the second thing. Diet is everything.
Yes. Yeah. That was one of the things I was going to bring up after. I was going to, you start into it and then I was going to hit on it.
Yeah, it's like, abs are made in the kitchen, 100%. Like, I know a lot of people in CrossFit who don't look like they're in the best shape,
Mm-hmm.
but can go 5 times harder than I can. That's just because what they're eating, the way the fat's being stored in their body, it doesn't look like they're healthy as they are. If you want to see that toned self, you really have to eat clean or just manage
Well, like that was one of the things that I
your macros.
And it's fun. It's funny that you say that because it's one of the things I loved about when I went to the doctor the last time I went there was because the way that he worded things to me was hilarious because it was literally the college bro sort of thing, and I think because the first time I saw him, I was just open. I was just me, and when people start to actually get to know fully me, they can see kind of my vibe, how I am, how I do things. I'm a larger than I'm physically larger than life, to most people. Most people haven't seen someone my size, and I'm smiley, happy, and I kind of joyous. So like the second time I saw him, the dude walks in the door. The very first thing I can see him. This is after the 2 months, right? So in 2 months I lost 30 pounds. So after the 2 months he comes in, and the first thing he says to me is, "Holy hell, you've lost a lot of weight." First thing he says to me, and I'm just looking at him. I was like, "What's up, doc?" Like, all right, cool, bet. So he comes in, sits down, and he's looking over the charts. And as he's looking over the charts, I can see his face, and I can just see like this look of confusion. And I'm just kind of sitting there looking at it. I'm just like, in the back of my head, I'm sitting there like, "This is fucking awesome. He's so confused right now." So I was like,
you weren't expecting that.
So it kind of just smirking, looked at him, and I was like,
Yeah.
So how'd I do? Did I pass it? And he looks at it, he goes, and he's like, "Colin, I'm not gonna lie." He's like, "You're healthy for someone half your size, let alone the size you are right now." And I'm sitting there like, yeah. And he starts reading through every single thing, and he's like, this is supposed to be between this and this. Lex, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the Husky Nation. He's literally reading through everything. He's like, this is supposed to be between this and this, and you're right in the middle. This is supposed to be this and this, and you're under what it's supposed to be. And he's just going through every single one. I'm sitting there like, this is kind of crazy. Like I've always thought that I was healthy for my size, but being told this by a doctor who literally just got my blood, like. And then he took me on the table, started moving. Awesome. He started moving me around, and of course, like I said, I'd been doing the yoga stuff then, right? So he's doing it, and he's like pushing down, and he's like moving me, and he's like, "I can't believe how flexible you are." And I was like, started doing yoga again, like, I was ready for this. I was ready for this, man. Like I ain't fucking around.
I wish you could have vlogged this.
Oh god, it would have been fucking hilarious because he was so stunned. He was so stunned because I'm telling him, he's like, "So what's your goal?" I was like, 100 a year. I was like, I want to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year. And he's like, well, you might want to watch out for that because of this, and this. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, now is that you telling me to watch out because you don't think I can do this? Is this another challenge? Or is this you saying this because you're actually saying this? Right? Like, so like immediately like my brain's just fucking, with myself. But diet is the biggest part of it. But the thing that's interesting with diet, and I'm going to change it. I'm not going to say diet for the rest of the stream. I'm going to say health plan, because it's the stupidest. Okay. This is the stupid. Well, no, so this is not even this. It's the stupidest thing. I saw it once, and ever since I saw it, I fully cannot ever think of it the same. Ever since seeing this, and this is going to be the corniest, stupidest thing you've ever heard, but just go with it.
Okay.
The main word of diet is die. The main word of health is heal. I've already killed my body. I'm trying to heal it now. So whenever I try to talk about this stuff, I'm talking about my health plan.
Fuck yeah. I like that.
So the interesting thing with health plans is, and this is going to be a very controversial thing I'm about to say, and they all fucking work. It just depends on what you want to do. Right? So the keto diet works. Mediterranean diet that works, right? All of these different, things work. It just depends on what you as a person want. There's one out there right now, and I actually thought about doing it and making it into a YouTube video because I thought it'd be interesting until I saw the price, and I was like, never mind. But basically what it is that they take your blood, right? Or you send them like a swab sample or a blood sample. I don't remember which one it is. And they basically do like an ancestry thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then based off of that, they can then break down genetically which food you are more able to digest and what food you are more unable to digest, which foods will be stored properly and which foods will not, and what sort of exercising you should do based off of your genetics. And
That's awesome.
I saw that and I was like, that's kind of like, that's next step, like working out, like holy shit, like so basically you could do a swab thing and then it'd be like, okay, so your heritage is Norse in English, so that means that you're coming from a island culture, so that means you're going to need to eat more fish because that's going to be what you're used to. You're going to want to eat some grain, some fruits, some legumes.
Legume.
And then it's like, it's like you want to go, like it's more of a hiking thing than a workout thing. And when you do work out, you want to work out like this because that's how it would have been back in those days, and that's how your body is built. And like I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is fucking crazy. But like I understood it and I liked it. So I don't know what you're doing, food wise. But for me, I'm just doing calorie restriction. I'm just in a calorie deficit. That's my, and it's the easiest thing in the world for me. Easiest thing.
Yeah, that is simple. Yeah.
Because when it's one of those things, right? Like you were talking about macros, and I love when people talk macros. And there's one main reason why I love when people talk macros. And it's one of the things that me and one of my friends, Josh, on the podcast talked about. Most people that talk about macros don't know what macros are.
So proteins, fats.
Yes, but what they don't understand though is how the body, depending on your body, depending on what you want, depending on all of the different aspects of it. So you want to have 28 grams of protein. You want to have 40 grams of carbs. You want to have this many grams of fat. You want to have this many grams. And you break it down every single step of the way. And then on top of that, there's also the fact of, okay, so now am I going to keep it stagnant? Am I going to change it? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Now, do I want to increase the amount because I'm trying to put on muscle? If I'm trying to put on muscle, then I need to change this. If I'm trying to take off fat, then I need to lower this. And it becomes one of those things where it's funny because for most people, the macro counting thing, it doesn't matter. I have... and I'm open about all this stuff. I eat McDonald's once a week. I lost 40 pounds in 3 months.
It's not about cutting out like everything in not everything, but most thing in moderation. If you know how to schedule those cheat meals, you can do so well.
So
eating
that's the
ice
thing,
cream every other day or something.
That's the thing, right? Is that it all comes down, and this is my biggest thing for calorie restriction. Or calorie deficit, or however you want to word it. This is my biggest supporting reason why for this. Is because no matter what, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that is proven to work fully. When you break down everything else, that's the only thing that's proven to work if you want to lose weight. And that's why I word it like that, because my biggest thing right now is losing weight. I understand that eating, let's see, because when I go to McDonald's once a week, I get, depending on I'll go my normal week, right? I'm going to get a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, a hash brown, a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Oh,
McGriddles. I love McGriddles. Oh.
And then, on top of that, I'm going to get the new thing that I've been getting because it's summertime now, is an iced caramel macchiato. Right? I get that. It's about 1,500 calories. I understand that. I put it in my phone. That lowers my number for the day, and I fully understand that. Now, do I understand that also eating all that shit is probably the worst thing possible for me? Yes. Do I give a shit? No. Why?
Live your life.
Well, no. Why do I not care? Because I'm under my calorie limit. That's the only thing that matters to me, is my calorie limit. Like, as long as I'm under that limit, I'm going to lose weight. It's physically proven. There was a doctor, I forgot who it is, I forgot when it was. Him and a bunch of his buddies were coming up with theses and doing all this stuff, and he said that you could lose weight just eating candy bars. And they said, no, you can't. And he said, oh, watch me. He ate nothing but Snickers. And he lost weight.
Is he healthy?
Well, that's the thing, right? Internally,
I like you about losing weight. You're right.
Internally,
but healthy.
Yeah, internally, shit wasn't right. But he lost a shit ton of weight, and that's the biggest thing. Is that to me, it always comes down to what do you want from whatever you're trying to do, right? So that's one of the reasons why, the way that I broke it down earlier with what I do workout wise, and the way that I do my calorie deficit, is because everything to me has a reason, a rhyme and a reason. Right, I'm doing workouts because I want to get I want to get strong again. First of all, I want to get back my strength that I used to have. But two, I want to get good looking up top. I've got wide childbearing hips and big old thick legs with 7 C's. This shit ain't going away. As nothing I do down there is going to do anything. So I'm just going to leave that alone and hope to God that the cardio and yoga just kind of slowly makes them smaller, but then tones it as well. So for me, it's upper body wise, right? That's my biggest thing for that. Is I want to get my strength back. I want to get kind of my size back up top, which is weird to say because I'm trying to, I want to get bigger, but I want to get my size, I want to get everything back up top. I'm doing the cardio because I want to improve my VO2 intake, and also because there's also this thing online that's a virtual challenge. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before.
Virtual challenge.
So basically, I'm going to be giving them, and sneak peek for everyone here right now on stream, and also people in YouTube watching this later. Hi, YouTube. Sneak peek, this is going to be a future video that's going to come out. It's a virtual challenge thing, so I'm going to be paying a company, I think it's $50 or $70, I forgot which one now. Basically, I'm going to be paying them money, and they're going to say, okay, so download our app, boom, got the app. Okay, so the first challenge is the English channel. The English channel is 21 miles. You have 73 weeks to accomplish that. And when you do accomplish that, we'll send you a medal.
Interesting.
So basically, I'm going to do that. It's going to be another incentive to work out. It's going to be an incentive for a YouTube video and for everyone else out there, to see, hey, you guys can do this too. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And at the end of it, I get a fucking medal. And the cooler thing is as I'm doing it, I will get URL codes that I can give people so they can put it in and see exactly where I am. Statistically in the thing I'm doing.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I wonder if I can find it real quick. It's funny that I say virtual challenge English channel and the first one that comes up is that. It's called the Conqueror event, right? So there's the English channel. I wonder if I can find all of them. Because some of them are really cool. So the English channel is 21 miles. So, doing 21 miles in 73 weeks is fucking easy. I'm going to do this in a week. Inca Trail, Mount Everest, Mount Fuji, the Giza Pyramids, Mount Kilimanjaro, Hadrian's Wall, the Ring of Kerry, the Great Ocean Road, the Alps to the Oceans, the Cabot Trail. There's all these different, lengthwise ones. And like I said, as you're doing it, you input it on the phone. So, let's say, for instance, right, you're doing the Grand Canyon. Let's just say, you're what, I'm going to do the Grand Canyon. It's 280 miles. I want to see if I can do the Grand Canyon. So you put in, okay, so the first day, if you had to take just a rough estimate guess, in a day, how many miles would you say just walking around doing stuff?
5.
Okay. So you put 5 in, right? As soon as you get to 25 or whatever, it will have a virtual postcode, a virtual postcard of what it looks like at the Grand Canyon at the 25-mile mark.
That's so cool.
So I'm going to be having that stuff for everyone to see because I'm going to give the links out to everyone so people can see exactly where I am doing this while I'm doing it live.
That's awesome.
So it's such a I think it's just such a cool thing, and it's an incentive thing. At the end of it, I get a fucking medal. Like, mind you, I'm paying for it. I could just pay for it, not do it, and still get a medal and just say I did it. But I mean, it kind of takes away from the whole, aspect of it, right?
Point, yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things though that I'm really excited about.
Sounds really epic.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my next ones. Other than that, I'm still doing the yoga. The only thing that's going to change a little bit with the yoga is that I'm getting to a part of it because it's all planned out. I do DDP yoga. For anyone out there that doesn't know, DDP was an old wrestler, and then he created a yoga plan to help basically wrestlers kind of not, just kind of completely destroy themselves. And then it's become a cult thing. It's become a following thing. The biggest one I think everyone knows, if they do know DDP yoga, is Arthur. Arthur was like an old guy, told he would never walk without crutches again, and now he's running.
Wow.
Like, if I sent you the video for it and you watched it, you would probably send me a message afterwards saying, thanks, I'm crying now. But, so that's the only thing I'm doing different with that is because there's a plan set up for it, and I'm getting to the point where last time I did it, I actually physically hurt myself doing it. So I'm actually taking it slower this time, and I've already decided instead of moving forward a week, I'm redoing the week I just did. Because I am older and wiser now than I was 5 years ago.
Exactly.
So, that's something that I have coming down the line that I'm doing, though. I'm doing the Conqueror Virtual Challenge as soon as I decide to actually buy it. Which one is it? Because there's one, let me take a look real quick. Because there's a bundle. Instead of just doing one, I thought, fuck it, I'll do a bundle. The starter pack is the one I'm going to do. So the starter pack, this is the 3 that I'll be doing. Ooh, I actually might change it up, though. Ooh, I might change it up. So the starter pack is the English Channel, the Inca Trail, and Hadrian's Wall.
Where's Hadrian's Wall?
So Hadrian's Wall, and this is a fun one that not a lot of people will know. Hadrian's Wall was a wall in England constructed to keep the Picts and the Celts out. Basically, it separated England from Scotland. And there's parts of it that are still there. But it's not like a full wall, like the Great Wall of China, or some of these other iconic walls that exist around the world. There's some part, like the majority of it, if you look it up, where it's just like there's like a little bit of like a stone like wall that looks like it's something that a farmer put out there. Like they have that. They have the other one, and this is the only reason why I said it is because I just saw this one and didn't know this one existed. They have the mountain pack, where I do Everest, Fuji, and Kilimanjaro. I kind of want to do that one. I might do both of them. I might fuck around and get froggy and do both of them.
Get froggy. Do it.
I might.
Do it.
But I mean, this is my thing. Like I said, it's kind of cool. Virtually travel all 3 mountains. I unlock virtual postcards that people can see. You can track all your miles directly through this. And this is the cool thing. Plant real trees as you advance. We will donate toward the planting of a tree for every 20% of the challenge you complete. No extra cost. So far, they've planted 450,000 trees since August 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
It is. I mean, it's. I mean, let's see here. So entry and medal for all of that for this one is $72. They plant 15 real trees. I get virtual postcards along the way. I get really cool looking fucking medals. If you want to pay $152, you can get apparel. So you get like a t-shirt, but I already looked into that and they don't make t-shirts my size, so I ain't doing that. But this is something that I have coming down the line. So is there anything fitness-wise, exercise-wise that you are going to be doing coming down the line here?
For me, I'm just trying.
Other than stealing my idea to potentially do a virtual challenge now.
No, like for me, I'm just trying to like get a better relationship, I guess, with food.
Okay.
And like, I think a big problem a lot of people have when they are on these, like you said, don't call it. I agree, we shouldn't call it diet. I feel like there's. I think it is
a weird like stigma to it, right? Like.
Yeah. Also, yours makes sense to die and then health and heal. But it's just like when people think of diet, they think about, okay, I have to restrict myself of these doing, or from the foods that I love to do, I'm gonna hate it. It's just like,
When that's one
I
of the
think,
reasons why I like the calorie restriction thing so much. I think as well is because like you can eat basically whatever the fuck you want. And being a gamer, I'm going to tell you right now, it makes it 10 times easier because I see the calories as points.
nice.
So
I know programs like that.
yes, well, so like, but instead of giving like, okay, 10 calories is 1 point. Instead of doing that, no, 10 calories is 10 points. Like I ain't fucking around with doing no more math. Like 10 is 10. Right? So like I have an app and I said about it to Jagger. Jagger since downloaded it. Jagger fucking loves it. It's called Lose It is the name of the app. You put your weight in, you put your height in, you put your weight in, and then after that you put a goal and how much you want to lose each week. So you can either maintain, I think it's maintain half a pound, 1 pound, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Right? It asks you what's your exercise levels. So you put all this stuff in, and then what it would do is it would give you this is how many calories you have a day. And then you put in your food and you put in your exercise that you do. So you just put all that stuff in, and as you lose weight and you update the weight, it changes your budget so you don't have to do that.
That's nice.
But
I do,
and it's free.
Yeah. That is nice. I do like that. The thing I have to say about like tracking your calories, I know for me it gets so tedious. And I think right for me at this point, I'm not trying to just lose weight.
True.
So for you, that I totally see how that's like awesome. But like for me, where I don't know, it's more like I'm trying to find foods that make me feel good.
Okay.
And like some foods that I know I like in the moment, cake. Cool Whip.
I was gonna say, as of right now, Danny. Okay, this is a terrible example and thing that you just said because I've seen you eating Cool Whip out of a bucket, and I've seen you having a giant bag of Sour Patch Kids, just eating them slowly, one by one.
Exactly. And you know what? I love it at the moment. The moment I fucking love it. But afterwards, I sugar crash. I feel I have to take a nap because I'm just tired and I wake up feeling like shit. I don't like half of the foods that like the fast foods or quote unquote junk foods. I'm not going to cut them out. Fuck no. I love them too much. But I'm trying to find more foods that make me feel good and also so they taste better because a lot of the foods that have like a lot of sugar, a lot of salt, that's what makes them taste good, but it's also not good for you. Like it causes your body to bloat. Inflammation is a leading cause of like most diseases. So like instead of getting yourself like people on so many medications for the foods that they eat, if they just changed how much of the foods they ate, not just take it out like altogether because just enjoy yourself, YOLO, but you want to have the best quality of life. It's just like it sucks because these big companies are making so much money giving us foods that make us sick. And instead of like changing, like if it just for me, it's like right now, I'm gonna go on a tangent. Like after like cutting out a lot of like salty foods and stuff, like I don't need as much salt for it to taste good anymore. And sometimes it's just way too salty now. And I think these companies are so corrupt because it's so easy to get these foods that taste so good that aren't good for you. And they're the cheapest things that they're the most readily available, and they're making people sick. And it's causing so much obesity. It's causing so much problems that many people don't even know. Like it's like underlying problems and whatnot. But yeah, so that's where I'm just on the search for it. Just like maybe not needing so much Sour Patch.
Well, have you ever heard of Freshly?
Oh, is that where they send you fresh stuff?
Freshly's the food meal service that you can pay them for, and then they send you meals based off of what you want, and then you can put them in the microwave, and then they taste good.
Ooh.
I
do like cooking, but it's tedious.
I buy Freshly, and I'm trying to do a thing here to see if they do more stuff for me.
Do it. I love that. Sounds great.
No, so
Freshly, you said.
yeah. Well, no. So one of the other reasons why I brought it up was because one, I do love the company. I love the company as a whole. I've been doing it for over a year now, and it's when I was eating for myself, just by myself, trying to eat healthy, it was over $150.
Mm.
All right. With Freshly, it's 12 meals. All of them are already cooked, so it's literally just get them, throw them in the microwave for like 2 to 3 minutes, whatever the box tells you. Literally follow the box instructions to a T. And it's meals that it would take me forever to learn to make. Some of them I physically just cannot make, and they just taste delicious. Because it was one of those things I was starting to realize, like, I was eating, like, I would just eat steak and cheese, basically, most days.
So good.
Which is really good, right? But then if I tell you that versus chicken tikka masala with basmati rice with carrots, peas, and some other like vegetables chopped up in there.
Sounds like a lot of work. I would just love to order that.
It does, right? Well, that's the thing. So you can with Freshly. Freshly has like they have this long list of food, and then you can just pick off of it. Boom, 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 boom. And let's say this, right? So you said you don't like salty food right now, right? Like kind of salty foods because they got a weird taste.
I love salty food, but like yeah, that's weird.
But right, so you can actually go in and you can like prioritize it by sodium. So like I want to lower sodium meals. Or I want lower carb meals. I want lower fat meals, which is the one that I'm doing right now. I'm eating lower fat meals. So all of my food has under 30 grams of fat, no matter what. And one of the reasons why I brought it up was just because if you want to try it, or if anyone out there wants to try it, like I said, one, it's a great company. Two, their customer service is out the fuck, like just fucking completely on another level. Anytime I message them, I hear back from them within 10 hours.
Nice.
And the third reason why is because I actually have a code I can give people that gives them $40 off their first two meals, their first two orders.
What's that code? Oh, you're gonna.
I'll have to put it in the description, and then I'll just send you it, Danny, on Discord. But like so like it's a cool company, and like I said, they have really good meals. I mean, like it's not just it's not just like, like, oh, yeah, we're going to send you a piece of steak and, yeah. Like, one of the new meals they're going to add on July 2nd, wild-caught white fish cake with herby Dijonnaise and sautéed spring medley. I couldn't even think to how to make that, right?
No.
Chicken and spring pea risotto, red pepper pesto chicken with gnocchi. Creamy turkey stroganoff, white bean turkey chili bowl, chicken tikka masala, homestyle chicken with green beans and mac and cheese, honey mustard chicken bowl. Like,
this sounds great. Like,
mind you,
sounds so convenient.
And that's the thing. For me personally, the thing you have to realize with it is, one, you're going to be paying for your food to be cooked for you. That's the biggest thing you just kind of have to kind of turn your mind off to. Because it is going to cost a little bit more money. But two, like I said, I just list off, I don't know how many fucking meals. I physically can't make those. They're better than what I'm going to... It's going to take so long. It's better than what I'm going to make, whichever butcher bullshit I come up with. It has protein. It has proteins, carbs, and vegetables, which I never was cooking vegetables before. And if I was, it was like I bought mushrooms. Right? So like for me it has all this aspect, and it's real simple, especially with the life that I live, where it is I'm constantly always trying to keep myself busy and doing things. So it's one of those things that, like, it's a simple thing. I wanted to bring it up because I love the company. They've been really awesome to me recently, especially recently. I'll tell you why after the podcast. But also, like I said, I have a podcast. I have a code thing that's give 40 to get 40. Right? You guys get 40%. You guys get $40 off. I get $40 off.
Nice.
And like I said, you don't have to do 12 meals. You can do, I think it's 4, 6, 8, and 12. I think are the options. So I mean, it's one of those things. You could do 4 meals and just have basically like a full week's worth, like a full weekday worth of meals, like dinners. There, now you don't have to worry about dinner. Done. They ship it straight to your house.
I like cooking, but as I'm trying, like with school and
sometimes you just yeah. I mean, this makes little aspects of life easy. I wouldn't in the world would tell people to do what I do with this is the main source of my food for the week. I wouldn't tell anyone to do that because what I think I'm doing is a little bit crazy. to put it politely. But yeah, no, I mean, I highly suggest people take a look at Freshly at least, because like I said, it's one of those things that you're basically paying for your food to be cooked for you. Once you get that out of your mind, it's a fucking really nice system. But all right, so back to school. Back to school to show my dad that I'm not a fool.
Ooh, is that a song?
Oh my god! Wow, you really don't know what that song, do you?
No.
Really, it's Billy.
Where's it from?
It's Billy Madison.
Who's that? I'm sorry. I feel like I listen to all genres, but I haven't heard of him.
So Billy Madison is a movie.
Oh, I think you said it. Oh, okay, good. I was like, I've never heard of a guy named Billy Madison. Oh dear. Okay, what is that movie about?
It's an Adam Sandler movie.
That makes more sense. I like Adam Sandler, but I don't watch a lot of his stuff.
Basically, he's an idiot and he has to go back to school in order to take over his dad's company. So there's a scene you probably have, considering it is like an iconic movie, and if you haven't, I'm going to judge you highly until you do watch it. There's a scene where he's waiting for the bus and he sings that, and every year when I had to go back to college, I would start singing that as it got closer and closer. But yeah, so back to school. So this was just kind of a topic that you picked because obviously you are going back to school. How is that all going? Don't really know how to take. I don't really know where to take this topic. So I mean, I'm just gonna ask just random shit now.
It's going really awesome. I'm like so blessed to have the opportunity to go back to school because I took a gap year, and you should never take a gap year if you really intend to go back because it's ridiculously hard to go back after you start working. You get an apartment, you had you're getting settled into your life, and then having to move back to a whole chunk of your time taken away to investing into going to school, moving to school. Like I was lucky for this pandemic in a way because it's been virtual, so I've been able to save on housing, and I've been able just to go there at all because I had a good career. I felt like I was gonna hit a ceiling soon, but I was lucky. I've been very blessed for sure, and I had I was in a place where if I didn't go back to school, I would have been just fine financially.
Okay,
but also I was also dying mentally. I'm just not meant for the office. Well, I feel like I'm good at it, but I don't enjoy office lifestyle culture. It's whatnot.
When it's funny because as you age and everything, you kind of find out these things, right? Like when I was going through college, I went and I was a health science major. Because my biggest thing was I didn't want to be at a desk. I wanted to be active. I wanted to be doing things. And then you come to what I do today, and I am basically, I might as well just say I'm a full-time fucking streamer because I stream almost 50 hours a week, it seems like now. And
that makes sense.
And I'm on salary at work, and the majority of my time at work is either me picking up boxes and moving, physically just moving boxes around, or I'm sitting at my desk. So my aspects and what I thought I was going to do completely shifted and changed. You're going back to school. So is it the summer school? How is the school? How is schools working now with it being the pandemic? Because obviously, I would assume that it's it changed a lot, right? Everything's virtual now, and that had to have changed. Had been a huge shift.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because school kind of got easier, but it's faster paced, and so they're trying to cram more into the time that they have. I don't know why they've even had this semester so short, considering it's all online. But they made the semester shorter, and they've it's all online, and so take your test online. There's no really accountability, and that's what they've noticed. A lot of people have been cheating and getting good grades, but actually not like receiving better grades, but not knowing the material as well.
Fair.
And so it's become a huge issue, and so they're trying definitely this fall semester to get us back in there. And so I'm gonna have to move down Southern Maryland, most likely, because in order to finish up school, I have like 2 semesters left.
Okay.
This fall semester and spring semester.
I wonder if, and this is just the skeptic in me. I wonder if it's also that they're just noticing a drastic decrease in funds. So they're trying, because of course, if you don't have people in housing, you don't have people eating food. So therefore, if there's no housing and there's no food, then you don't have to be paying as many, like chefs or janitors or people that are just normally there on campus. You don't have to have all those people there anymore that you used to have, and just all of the funds and everything could be. I wonder if that's, because of course, like I said, a skeptical mind you, but is something I could see colleges doing, especially with the way that I know how scummy a lot of colleges are, especially with the way they do things.
Yeah, I mean, all businesses really have to rely on getting that money in, and for better or for worse, I think they will try and speed it up. I'm not sure even if it would be a bad idea if everyone's had their vaccination, or how it really will go down. Well, and what are the real pros and cons of it?
Well, that's the thing, especially with today's day, right? Like everything is still, as much as people will say that like it's guaranteed, or it's they're doing the 100% or 0%. We all know that it's not 100 or 0. We know that it's somewhere gray in the middle. So it's interesting seeing a lot of either companies or like what we're talking about with colleges or schools or like kind of almost struggling to figure out, okay, so what are we going to do, and how different places are going at it, so that's my thing. So you have 2 semesters left.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the major? The major is
Chinese. The minor is German. So it's actually a long story. Because like I started off being an English and history major, and then I moved to international relations, Chinese and whatnot, and then I went to a really big fancy school in DC that cost a lot of money, so I could do international relations. Figured out I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to be a vet, and all of this is also like I tried to go back to school while I was also I was a manager at this company, and so I was trying to do both of those things.
Hold up, wait. So international. I'm just gonna say affairs because I forgot what the word you used was. So that. Then you said no, that's not what I wanted to do. You want to be a vet.
Yeah.
And now you're going back to school for Chinese.
So what I'm going to do is I'm taking these. I'm just getting my undergraduate degree because I have over $100,000 of college debt to my name.
Yep.
So I might as well get that degree first.
Okay.
And then as I'm finishing up these semesters, I'm taking the prerequisite classes in order to get into an accelerated program after college. It's like this. And so, like, it's at like University of Pennsylvania or something. They have like this 4 to 5 year program in which, like, you have to have taken like the basic biology, physics sort of classes. And so I'm doing that while also finishing this Chinese degree. So then I can go. So I'll have my undergrad degree, then try and get my
veterinary.
Whatever it's called, I don't
remember. That's interesting.
Yeah, I love pets, so like I've tried to find like my passion. Like it's so hard to like find like a passion that could also sustain you too. like, can also, like, actually put money on the table
Yeah.
while you have the other hobbies and whatnot.
Well, it's funny. It's funny the way you just worded that, because I always consider myself a little bit of like like almost like an old head and old soul, right? With the
Mm-hmm.
way I was brought up with my old man, especially with the way that he is, um, like it's funny hearing, like, and it's something that I think about too, which is like like I want to find my passion. I want to find what I like, what I'm happy doing. Thinking
Mm-hmm.
about that, and then thinking about like my dad, who was like, well, I'm I'm not gonna just blow glass for a living, so I might as well join the army. Might as well join the Air Force. And then he joined the Air Force. Then he came home, and he was like, "Well, I need to find a fucking job." And then he's working, at a body a body jewelry company as like a manager, and he's been working there now since we came home, basically. Basically, just like the aspects of like I need to put money on the table, so I guess I'll find a job. Versus our like more of kind of I think it's a little bit of my generation, but it's more so I feel like under my age that it's more of a I want to find what I love to do
Mm-hmm.
versus just I want to find something to put money on the table.
Yeah, because we see how miserable just going after the money is. I know firsthand making good money doing something I hated.
Mm-hmm.
Hated it. Well, I can find joy in it. Like, the thing is, I feel like with enough, like, with the right mindset, you can find joy in a lot of different things. But physically, I know what would make me the happiest
Mm-hmm.
would be helping people. I like to help, and I also love animals, and so I volunteered at the animal shelter. I love it. So
Yeah, I mean, and don't think I'm like trying to say that's wrong, because I'm not,
no,
right?
no,
I just it's something that I always think about because I find it funny because like my main job, my salary job, I fucking hate.
yeah,
Every single day I have to go into work. I fucking hate it. I wish I
I feel
wasn't
you.
there. I wish I didn't have to do it. I absolutely fucking hate it because the way that some of the other people that I work with visually see me as just like a aggressive packing monkey is the way that I put it. Um, it's annoying. I don't like it. I feel very underutilized and I feel like my voice isn't heard in the company because of the way people view me.
Mm.
Um, and then I come home and I get to do this, and I really enjoy making content for people, making stuff that potentially could brighten someone's day, or a reaction to
Yeah.
something, or giving someone a piece of knowledge that they didn't already possess. Just kind of just doing something that like I said, that potentially could brighten someone's day.
Mm.
Whether it's make them smile, make them laugh, make them cry, um, any one of those things, right? So like I'm kind
You
of
want to
living.
make them cry?
Well, so like, well, the reason why I say that is because there's some of the games that I've played.
Oh, touchy.
There's been touchy parts to it. Like one of them, one of the first series I played was called Unravel, and it's about a little yarn ball, and you're basically like traveling through memories of this old lady, and
Mm.
so like I played that through, and the reason why I bought it and played it was because my mom owns a sewing shop. So I
Mm-hmm.
saw it and it kind of made me think of her, and I was like, well, let me play this kind of, as a game for her sort of thing.
Yeah.
And when I finished playing it, I was in a weird place because it was right at the kind of the beginning height of COVID.
Mm.
And it was when they started shutting down stores in town or in my state, when they started shutting down stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to my mom, and it was like the day of me finishing the game, and she was like basically in tears, like trying to hold them back, but saying, I don't know if I'll be able to have a store by the end of this.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if we'll be able to make it through this sort of thing.
How is everything now?
I mean, it's better now. It's small town, very niche store. And
Yeah.
of course, but because of COVID, she makes masks and sells them. So that's kind of boomed her business a little bit because of that.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But still, it was one of those things where so like that happened and it hit me in a weird place. So when I finished the game, I was in a weird place and I was like kind of breaking down on stream a little bit because like I said, I played the game for my mom. Like that was the biggest thing, and then that happened, and my buddy John was in chat, and he basically said like, look, like film something for the beginning of this series with you saying why you're doing this and what's happening, because he's like, it was a kind of a powerful thing, like, this isn't just like, you're putting this on, you're really feeling this is a real emotion, and it's just, so I did it, and it's basically just me trying my best not to fucking cry, and I eventually do start crying. But it's, like me saying, like, like the series is my mom. We're going through a hard time because you had to shut her store down. She's a sewing store, and da 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 da. And like, so this is serious to my mom. I love you, like that sort of thing. And I'm like trying my best not to fucking cry. And then it goes into the series. So like, yeah, there's some games that have like an emotional tug, to them. This one of the next games that's going to be up, The Wolf Among Us, is going to have an emotional tug, but it's more of an emotional tug of, you killed the woman I love, so I'm going to kill everyone now.
Hey.
Yes, that sort of tug. So I feel like I clipped the reaction. I'm going to be putting it up on TikTok within like the week. I'll probably put it up on Instagram within a couple of days. But it's just like, I didn't see it coming. It was something that happened in the game. Didn't see it coming at all. And it was one of those things where, like, it was just such a genuine reaction from me. But it's like, it's a genuine reaction of shock, and then immediately followed with, oh, I'm fucking killing everyone. So, great clip. Like I said, great. I think it's a great clip. So we're putting that up
to see it.
Yeah, I'll, another thing I'll send you afterwards.
Okay.
But okay, so back to school, right? Passion, you're going to be a vet. Is there anything like, so you're going to go finish Chinese, and then you're going to go fast track your way to doing the, like, whatever the vet kind of schooling is. Are you going to, so when you do that, right, is there going to be anything that you're going to be using the Chinese for, or is that just kind of like you're literally just doing that to finish it?
Oh, I'm definitely intent. I love languages. I'm studying.
I know that one.
A few others. Yeah. I plan to be fluent and want to travel back to China. I lived there for a while.
Oh, I did not know that.
I definitely want to go back there.
Would there, and this is just a random thing that I just thought of, would there be, like, for instance, could you be a vet and almost as a side job, because I'm always thinking of side hustles, could you do a side job of, like, translating, like subtitles or books or just like conversations online, or is that anything you've looked into or looked at? Because I could, I feel like that's something that is a very unique thing and very niche thing.
Yeah, I definitely know that there's a lot of side hustles I have in mind that, just need to follow through with, that I am excited to maybe do soon or do it later, whatever. So much stuff I want to do. I have a problem just focusing my mind on one thing, and that, like, I'm really good at obsessing things, but I also have like a scatterbrain, I guess. And so, like, I'm really good, but like, I just need to focus.
I get it. I recently, I downloaded fucking like 7 games. I was like, I'm going to play these games on stream and upload them to YouTube. And since then, I've bought like 3 games that I've immediately played instead, because it's just like, you know what? Like, yeah, I want to play Sea of Solitude, but every time I get on stream to play Sea of Solitude, I don't want to play Sea of Solitude. Like,
I feel you. I have so many games I can't even fit on my computer. Like, I just look at a chore, not a chore, but it's difficult to like have to know which one I have to uninstall. But I kind of want to play that, and then I got so annoying.
Yeah,
that's the baseline. It's annoying.
Yeah,
I need a bigger hard drive.
It's like downloading Call of Duty. Warzone. Playing it one day, and then never playing it again because someone doesn't want to play games with me because they don't like me anymore.
Excuse me. No, I feel so bad. I'm so lucky to have so many wonderful people to play with, and I can't even get my shit together to like stream on time. So I'm always letting someone down. Don't take it personally, Husky. I'm not playing with you.
Weird flex. You have a lot of friends.
No, I'm not saying I have a lot of friends. I'm saying I know a lot of music
Oh, even weirder flex. I know a lot of people. Um,
No, not even like
um,
that.
all right, so
I'm not popular. I'm grateful to know a few amazing, wonderful people such as
yeah,
Big Husky.
yeah, okay, yeah. Now you're just sucking up. So okay, so back to school. So we're gonna be looking at school possibly for the next 4 to 5 years. It sounds like. So obviously the plan for the next 4 to 5 years is that. So I can't ask what's the plan for the next 4 to 5 years. So what's the plan for the future then? Let me just do that. Broad statement, broad open. You don't have to be specific. Just kind of future. What would it look like? What does it look like to Danny? Like this is what I would like my future to look like.
Definitely, that's a thing that I think everyone needs to have. Like, if you don't have a goal, what are you working for? And I think so. The past, I can say too, the start of the pandemic, I really started to try and figure out what is my dream.
Okay.
What am I really trying to like work towards, essentially? And that's a farm, and that's like many animals on that farm, having a sanctuary on that farm, having like a vlogging channel that I can vlog all these animals, vlog family. I'm not sure. Depends on the dude. Like how comfortable. I mean, because family channels can be a bit what is it called? Controversial.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like try and exploit the kids. So it's just gonna be a balance. I'm definitely gonna film the animals though, and I'm excited about that, having my own property, being able to start a sanctuary, being able to actually be the one to help the animals myself and not need other people to come in, but definitely will need specialists, whatnot. What else? I want to be able to travel wherever, not wherever, like, I want to have that freedom. I want an RV. I want family and friends all around. I want. There's a lot of things I want. That's like the big, like, I'll know I've made it when I have my family. I have that farm. I have the animals. I'm making an impact positively, creative, like, and then the side hustles, that's just like extra icing on the cake. All the things, there's so many things that I'm excited about doing or want to do. Writing a book. I don't know, continue with the streaming channel. And like, I love Twitch so much just because I've met all these friends, Husky. all the boatloads of friends I have.
All these friends.
At first I thought it was a bit overrated looking in, like, as an outsider looking at Twitch, like all I heard about, this community, it's like community this, community that, it's like, oh, whatever. Like I don't know. But actually experiencing it, it's I'm so glad. I made the plunge here.
Yeah.
And that's why the plunge here kind of also made me, inspired me kind of, because it was a gamble. And I wouldn't say like my goal isn't to be most popular on Twitch, or like it's not have all these. It's not to be extremely popular, but it is about the community.
Yeah.
And so I like it. I like it a lot, and I hope that it continues as well. But yeah, what about you, Husky? What is your goals?
I don't know really, because like I've said it before. I'm in a weird place where I feel like I'm too old to be doing this. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, I don't think so at all.
And also like the big one for me is, and this is the big thing that I will say right now, is stopping me from moving forward. And I know it for, I like it is a good thing that I know what it is, but it's a bad thing because it's probably not going to change for a little bit. But the big thing that's holding me back right now from being able to just kind of say fuck it, this is what I'm going to go do, is three main things. The first one is I don't have my license. I've never had my license. I have my permit, but I don't have my license. When I moved here, I was 13. So I was in that age right where people are starting to really want to get a license, right, and learn to drive. I was learning about America, basically, at that point, and making friends. And well, I mean, I'll move from England. Like, I had no idea what the fuck this place was. So, like, I'm learning, you know, new things. Like, I'm not allowed to say rubber in class because, you know, to me, a rubber was an eraser, and I'm still going around like, hey, you know, need a rubber.
Oh.
You know, so I'm asking like the pretty girl in class if I can have a rubber from her. Like, whoops,
No.
you know, didn't know that. You know, but like, so like, I'm learning that. I'm learning about the school system. I'm trying to figure out American history because I've never fucking learned it. Like, you know, like I was trying to make friends. I was trying to understand what football was. You know, there's just a lot of stuff. So for me, it never. Getting a car and getting a license was never something I needed. If I needed to go somewhere, I either had a buddy that would take me, or I'm luckily enough to have a really close family where, like, my old man would be like, "Oh yeah, sure, we can go as long as you pay for gas." And it's like, all right, cool. You know, like, we're off, gone, right? So that's the first thing that's holding me back. The second thing that's holding me back is my main job. Like I said, I fucking hate it. However, I'm on salary and I make a decent pay.
Yeah.
So no matter what, that's always going to be on my mind because it's one of those things where I've never had a other job but this. This is the only job I've ever had. So yes, I could go work at a gas station. Yes, I could go work as a janitor. Yes, I could go work at a, you know, like, grocery store, right? I could do all those things. I physically know I can. I've just never have done those things. So that's always in the back of my mind. I know I have, you know, specific skill sets, you know, and everything. So, but it's always there. So that kind of daunting challenge is always there. And the third thing is, and it's kind of the smallest out of all of them, but like, my apartment costs fucking nothing, basically. From what I've heard from other people about, like, how much their apartments and, like, everything costs, like, I there's one person I think I pay a third of what they pay monthly.
Jeez.
Yeah, so, like, I see that and I'm like, well,
take advantage of that.
Yeah, like, I'm like, it's kind of a hard one to say, like, you know, yeah, sure, let's move over to this place where the rent is, you know, $1,200 a month, when it's like, yeah, I'm paying $5.
That's awesome.
You know, so that's my 3 ones that I know that are holding me back right now. But looking forward, though, what would I like to have? What would I like to do? Obviously the family thing. That's always been a big one for me. You know, I'd love to, you know, finally have, you know, that wifey that, you know, like, that, you know, that's it, done. She's it. You know, like, you know, support her and all of her goals. You know, whatever she wants to do, I'm willing to fucking help. You know, I'm there. We're supporting each other. It's us versus the fucking world. You know, that sort of, you know, Johnny and June sort of thing, right? That's one of the things I would love, no matter what. Streaming is kind of my big thing right now. My other passion that I had, unfortunate situation happened, and I was let go from it, and was told I was not going to be coming back, and I probably would never be coming back to it here in my town anyway, sort of thing. And I deep dove into streaming at that point. I just started kind of like barely streaming, and then I started going from doing, I was doing like maybe 7-8 hour streams weekly to like going from that straight to like 40-50 hour streams. Like, just done. Like, I'm fully bought in, you know. And as time has gone on, the community's grown, everything's gone bigger, you know, the channel's gone bigger. You know, like I said, I just bought a PC, which will, you know, exponentially help the channel get bigger even from there, because it will allow me to do more things. More things means more content is, you know, better, allow me to make better content. You know, I would love to be able to get to the point where I'm monetized on YouTube. That's kind of my next big one, because I don't see partner anywhere close on the horizon. Like, I'm smart enough to understand the system, what the numbers need to be like for that. I know I'm not close enough to even start thinking about Twitch partner. As much as I'd want it, I'm not going to be dumb enough to say, you know, that I'm going to go get it right now, because I just know it's not in the books, right?
Yeah.
I'm average. this, I think, weekly right now I'm averaging like 5. The stream's been really good. The stream's been, an average of, the high single digits. That going from that to averaging 75 with the hours that I do, like, I know that is impossible. With YouTube, I need 1,000 subs and I need 4,000 public watch hours. That seems reasonable. I'm like 340 subs, and I feel like I keep growing exponentially, just little by little by little with subs, and people watch my videos, more than they used to. So I feel like
Progress is progress.
exactly. So I think that's going to be the next thing that I'm leaning towards getting. Me, of course, I want to. Will I eventually want partner? Of course I would. Who wouldn't want partner? But I know that I shouldn't just be looking straight to it. And then location wise, I've said it before to a few people. I haven't said this openly before, I don't think. As long as I have a way to bring in money, and of course, like I said, this is me talking future. As long as I have a way to bring in money, I can pay for food and house, and I have the fucking wifey next to me, and we're doing our thing. I don't give a fuck where I live. And that's just the God honest truth. I really don't give a fuck where I live. I'll move, I'll move to fucking California, I'll move to Arizona, I'll move to fucking Florida, Maryland, Wisconsin, doesn't fucking matter to me. The biggest thing, honestly, and I'm an old school romantic, always have been. Plenty of people will fucking agree with that one. I don't give a fuck where I am as long as she's next to me.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Well, like I said earlier, about Johnny and June. I don't know if you know that reference, but it's referring to Johnny Cash and his wife. He was asked one day. I want to find the quote before I actually say it, because, dear God, if I mess the quote up, I will fucking feel terrible. Where is it? So here. People once asked Johnny Cash to describe what paradise would be like. Like, what's his paradise? Everyone has, like, what's their paradise, right? Johnny Cash said, "This morning with her having coffee."
Aww.
I've never resonated more with anything in my entire fucking life. Like, at all. Like, it's that simple for me. Like,
that is so fucking cute and sweet.
Way to make me blush now. But no, I mean, like, that's just me. Like, I don't care where I have to go. I don't care what I got to do. If it's one of those things where it's me and you versus the world, then I'm fucking all for it. And just tell me where I got to go. If it's fucking Florida, then cool. I hate hot. I hate snakes. I hate gators. I don't like the state of Florida, but guess what? It doesn't fucking matter because you're there. If it's, fucking Alaska, cool. I love the winter. I love polar bears because I am one, and I guess, we're going to be getting money from the state because they pay people to live there. Cool. We're going to Alaska. Like, it doesn't matter. That's my biggest thing. It doesn't matter as long as she's there.
I heard Alaska was beautiful.
I have one of the kids that I used to coach, one of my quarterbacks. He has a family up there, and he goes up there every year. And he would send me snaps when he was up there, and it was just unreal. It's funny because, like, I don't really snap a whole lot or like send pictures out or do much of anything like that. And I'm actually going to go hiking at some point here within the next month or so. And in Vermont, where I'm at, some of the hiking trails are fucking beautiful. Like, I've gone hiking before. I've just never been much for social media. Look, I'm hiking. That sort of thing. Now that I'm a streamer and I'm doing all this stuff, I feel like I should do more of that. So I try to. But like, some of the views that you can see, it's so fucking unreal. And like I'm excited to share. To share some of those views because I've been joking around recently with some people. I think it was with one of the last Overwatch streams with Jagger, Xander, Dana, and like Pip, and like those that group of people. We were talking about stuff, and I said something like about me being the king in the north. And I'm always talking about how fucking cold it is here. So I think people have a misconception of what it looks like up here and how beautiful it can be.
The kids are
so I'm at some point here I will be, just kind of, hey, look, it is, this is what it actually looks like, just don't look at some of the scummy places around here. But no, I mean that's kind of my thing is like looking forward, like those are kind of my big ones. It's like it's like I would love to get to a point where I can find that that special person who I can brag about and be like, hey, you see that? You see the girl over there that just finished fucking 8 White Claws and downed 4 hot dogs?
Hell yeah.
That's my girl, right? Like, I would love to get to a point where, like that shit's happening. She's like, it's like, God damn, doesn't he look sexy? And it looks over and it's me after eating 4 fucking burgers and I got mustard all in my beard, right?
Yes.
Like, I would love to get to that point with someone and, just overall like that. As long as, and honestly, in all opinion, in all seriousness, that's the biggest thing. Everything else will come at with that. Like I'm like it's one of those things. Like if I like, and it's happened before. Like there was one girl I started talking. Oh, we talked in college. We was a thing, kind of a thing in college and everything. And I told her I was going to do coaching. That was my big thing. Coaching done. I'm going to be a coach. And she's like, no, that's not what you're doing.
Hmm?
I'm like, fucking excuse me.
Question mark?
And that was her whole thing. Is like, she was like, nope, no one, you're not. If you're gonna be with me, you're not gonna be a coach. You're gonna do this instead, like that sort of thing. Like, if I'm the right person, they're gonna support what I want to do, no matter what.
Exactly.
I'm gonna support what they want to do, no matter what, and we're gonna find a way to make that shit fucking work. Done.
That's why she's the next.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that and a few other things. I'm not gonna put her on fully on blast. I have before, but I'm not gonna put her fully on blast right now.
Well, yeah, I never like talking about people, like ever.
No, I mean, like I said though, that's my thing. Is it's like if I can find that right person that kind of changes everything, and it's it's a mutual thing, and it's it's that's it's
Yeah.
ever since I saw this one clip, it's resonated more and more and more in my head. And it was talking about, are you the villain?
Mm-hmm.
Right, kind of a weird question, right? Are you the villain? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, well, let's see if I can figure this out. So I'm watching the rest of the video, and are you the villain? And it's like, because the villain is willing to let the world burn in order to save her, where a hero will let her burn in order to save the world.
What?
And I was like,
excuse me?
Well,
a hero find a way.
It's like I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm fucking villain. Like, I will let the world burn in order to save her. Every single time. Doesn't matter.
Weird.
It really is. But like the more I started thinking about it though, it's like, yeah, like I will I'll go through hell and high water as long as she's okay. I'll go through fucking working, 7 different jobs, different hours all the way to make sure that we have money and food on the table, we have a roof over our head, and she's happy. Doesn't matter. Like when that aspect happens, and it's like that's it, and it's me and her versus the world. The only thing that matters to me in that situation is her. That's my thing. There's my weird romantic fucking, husky talk that no one needed to hear about.
No, sweet. I'm sort of thinking, like, I feel like my happiness is like a family. It's definitely with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like my heart is like the fullest when I'm around my family. Or it was like when I was taking care of my little brother and sister. I have a little brother sister who's like now she's 16 and he's 13. But there's like a 10-year age difference with at least my little sister. And I love taking care of her. She was like my little, like, I've always had like dolls and whatever, but she was like my real baby doll. I like teaching them how to read. Like, I'm just that woman that just needs some children to take care of and spoil and I don't know. I see happiness in a family.
I want
In a
to
family.
I want to read what Doku wrote here because she just wrote a book, and knowing her, it's it's going to be gold. So she said, "It's true though. Heroes and their tropes are so often written to focus on the greater good than their own happiness. Whereas villains are allowed to be their true selves. It comes off as selfish because the writers don't want relatable villains. But those villains, they're able to do their own thing and do whatever it takes to achieve their means and protect those they care for if they're written that way." I always think back to Mr. Freeze. That's the biggest one I always think about. As soon as I saw that quote, I immediately thought, "Oh fuck, I'm a villain," and then I immediately thought Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is a bad guy, and his whole backstory and premise is he's looking for a cure to save his wife. How is that a villain? Like, he's gonna do anything that it takes to make sure his wife's okay.
You know what I think? It's like we're all villains in somebody's story.
Oh yeah,
No
100%.
matter how our intentions are, like we can be doing it for the greatest of reasons and not know that we're fucking someone else's over. It's like that we are that villain.
True.
And when I heard about that idea, I really paused because I definitely heard yeah, you're the hero, your own story, you're the protagonist, you have to write your movie, but you're not all good. Like I try to be a good person as much as possible, and then it's like I feel, especially when I don't try to hurt people and I do hurt people, or I'm just obviously no one's perfect. People get hurt. My actions, I'm just like, oh fucking A. I'm a piece of shit. No.
Well, hitting on that one real quick. There was one that I heard. I mean, God, now this is just turning into the philosophical Husky fucking quotes now. There was one that I heard at one point that said that no one is perfect, but everyone is perfect. Because no matter what, you're perfect to someone. Your imperfections make you perfect.
A nice idea.
It's a nice idea, but then you can think about it, right? Like, someone can say they don't like their eye color because their eyes are brown. Meanwhile, you look at their eyes and you think that they're fucking beautiful. It's imperfect to her, but you think it's perfect.
You just need that person for sure. I remember when one of my exes, he just looked at me one day and was just like, "Oh, you have the most yeah." He said the same thing, "and the most beautiful eyes." And then looking at him too, is it made sense. Love made sense. I don't know. Because I looked into his eyes and I saw they were the most beautiful. Love is wonderful.
It's wonderful, and
can't be rushed.
It's the best and the worst thing. It's the best and the worst thing. Because it will be the biggest high of your life, and it will be the biggest low of your life.
Yeah. Have you heard of the quote, you can't truly love someone unless you truly hate them, unless you've hated them before?
Nope.
Have you heard of that? What do you think of that? You can't truly love unless you've truly hated.
Oh, okay.
You don't
all right. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So when you first said it, I thought you meant it's like, I can't love this girl.
Unless you hate her.
Unless you hate her. That's what I thought you said at first. So when you first said that, I was like, no, I've never hated a girl, and then be like, yeah, I fucking love her. Yeah, no, I can see that because there's definitely, I try not to use hate as much these days, because, and this is just not. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not getting into this tangent. I'm just going to say this one statement, and then we're just moving on. But no one hates me more than I fucking hate myself. Other than that, other than that, I try to dislike more than anything. Either I dislike or you don't exist to me, sort of thing. But no, there's been times in the past where I've truly just I hate everything about this person. I can hear them talk, and immediately I'm putting a bad mood. They say a name, or they bring up their name, they mention them in a story. I see a picture, it's an immediate just bad taste in my mouth, bad mood sort of thing. And then there's other people where I can get, and people have seen it on fucking stream. I know you fucking have. I can hear my phone go off, look over, see who it is, and there's a smile on my face, and you can see my mood, the attitude, everything change. When I'm talking to certain people, you can see that change. And it's such a weird and unique thing. It really is. It really is. But no, yeah, so I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that.
I do have to go feed my chinchilla babies.
So what you're saying is you want me to wrap this up now? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't know how podcasts work, but I do need to feed a few for 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, we kind of just deviated from back to school to love and wisdom. How about I do this? Thank you for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate you being the guest. Finally, after not trying to hospitalize yourself for the second time in 3 weeks, just so you couldn't be on the podcast. Weird flexes.
No, I have brain surgery. It was serious. I was not trying.
But I'm gonna leave a link down in the description for your Twitch. Do you want me to leave anything else, like any of the other socials that you have, or just Twitch?
An ID. It's all DannyStarShip though. If you want to find me anywhere, just look up DannyStarShip. Yeah.
Just look up DannyStarShip. She's a female. She's 26. She's 5'7". Likes long walks on the beach. You got to be good with language and pets. And
amusement parks. You have to take me to amusement parks.
Well, there you go. You can't be a giant monster ape like me, and go, not be able to go on the rides. So I mean, I'm automatically out now. But thank you, Danny, though, for being on the podcast. I really do appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, and like I said, I will leave you links down in the description down below, so everyone else can go check her out. But
it's wonderful.
As always,
it wasn't.
Nope.
No, okay, shut up now.
No, I cut you off. I cut you off.
No, just thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I told you it wasn't going to be that bad, right?
Yeah, I totally thought it was going to be way worse than this.
Yeah,
You're a great conversationalist. I need to take notes. I don't know how to do it half as well. You're awesome.
This is how you do it. You just filter, go, and just run your mouth.
I filter too much.
Yeah, I don't filter anything right now. So, but as always, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we talk to y'all later. Bye.
Take care, y'all.